sits down.
I tell you, you have to have a lot of guts as a coach to sit there with two key players had 4 fouls and went to the zone.
Very critical now for Arkansas with Duke over the limit and 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go to hit that front end, as Credit did, giving them the bonus. He didn't hit it, but they got an opportunity. Now it is Duke's ball. 74-73. Arkansas with the lead.
Now you have to think about jump shooters here. Henderson about all they've got.
Into the hands of Bricky. An opportunity basket, and he went down hard. He's playing with an injured knee, bad hamstring. He's okay. He bounces right back up. Now it's Howell with the three at the top of the circle. Arkansas leads it, and Lindsey Howell.
Oh, and Phil Henderson took a shot. He's a little woozy on the sidelines. Brent, as versatile as Howell is, can you imagine throughout his career he did not make a three-point shot until this year's Southwest Conference tournament. Phil Henderson is really woozy out there. He took a shot. And of all the guys Mike Krzyzewski cannot afford out of there right now, it's his primary shooter.
Watch the left side of your screen. He appeared to be hit, I guess, up in the nose area. That's what he was holding as he came in. And he suffered the blow right there, and he will sit down on the Duke bench.
Now, if you're Mike Krzyzewski, you want to stall for time as best you can here, because that's your go-to guy, and he's out of it.
Hurley, Bricky, Davis, Leitner back with Abdel Nabi. They really need Hurley to start getting some penetration here and pull some of the defenders out if they can. He pops one into Abdel Nabi.
Another great
Miller with a great play and into the hands of Bricky.
And Mike Krzyzewski getting exactly what he wants. The ball down inside low to get Miller out of the game, but they can't do it.
Deep to Abdel Nabi. Nice pass by Hurley. Leitner off. As Abdel Nabi missed the layup. Score it. And the foul is called down on the inside.
That'll be all for Credit. Well, Nolan Richardson did a masterful job keeping those two big guys in the game. They had 3 fouls on him for a long time. There's the lob over the top of Lindsey Howell. Miller again with great defense. Leitner has the inside position. Credit on his back.
Credit, a senior, receiving an ovation from the Arkansas fans, and if the Razorbacks are unable to pull this one out without their starting center, that will have been his last appearance for Arkansas. So it's going to be tough now with the foul situation. 6:22, and we've lost our first player. Leitner with 4 and 16 points and 10 rebounds makes it 17 and gives the Devils a 1-point lead.
And now the key is, will they go down and try to get Miller out of it?
Howell is short and into Mayberry's hands, and good anticipation by Bricky. Stepped into the passing lane, took it away from Jury, and now it's Hurley bringing it up. As it knocks free on the turnover, they bust out 3-on-1. Only Bricky. Mayberry hits the trail man Howell, and the foul is called on Davis.
Sensational play by Mayberry, who led his league in steals. Hurley did not protect the ball. Mayberry's quickness came from behind. Even when you beat somebody, when they have that ability, you can see what was a great play by Mayberry. He came down from underneath the ball instead of slapping on top. If you slap on top, of course, you pick up that foul. And Brent, you know, with 6 minutes to go, you feel there's another run coming for both teams in this game. Right now, you would have to think, because of the way Nolan Richardson is substituted, he's got a fresher 5 out on the floor than does Duke.
Arkansas up a point at the 6-minute mark. Leitner looks at Abdel Nabi. Miller cuts him off.
They're wanting to go to Abdel Nabi with Miller on him.
Miller with 4 fouls stays with him. Abdel Nabi gets the roll.
Now, Oliver Miller's not backing down.
Mayberry under pressure. Finds Jury coming out, and this is Day now with possession. They have to respect him from any spot on that floor. Coming into the inside. Leitner rebounding.
They've got
Off
the fast break.
3-on-1 advantage. Only Mayberry. Abdelnaby is wrapped up and fouled by Mayberry. Mayberry takes his first foul of the game.
That was an excellent foul on Mayberry's part. Took away what was a 3-on-1 break. Duke maybe tried to force it a little bit too quick in there.
Davis for the Blue Devils and Bowers for the Razorbacks. Checking in as Day sits down.
That's the point I just made a second ago, in the fact that Nolan Richardson probably also feels he's got plenty of time in this game because of the runs that have been made to save Day for the last 4 minutes.
Bricky also sits down as Abdelnaby gives Duke a 2-point lead.
Based on Denny Crum's statement to me yesterday, he said the last 6 minutes at altitude is when your players start to fall off in efficiency if they're not rested, and Duke is kind of tired right now.
Abdelnaby with 18 points. Leitner was 17, Bricky was 17, and Henderson, the leading scorer, shaken up, returning now with 21 points on the floor for the final 5 minutes. Knocked away beautifully by Abdelnaby.
Good help by Bobby Hurley coming from the backside. Hurley's been doing a lot of things today, but he has not scored a field goal.
Hawkins.
You can see what Nolan Richardson's doing. He's saying, I'm going to run at you in the last 3 minutes of the game, and I'm coming back with Day, and I'm going to come back with Lindsey Howell rested.
Both of them out right now. So Bowers and Hawkins and Mayberry, Miller and Fury. And the key question is, can Miller stay on the floor with the 4 personals? Mayberry with a good spinning move comes back to the right side and buries that jump shot. A 1-point Duke lead. The pressure set off the successful field goal. They hit Davis beautifully. 2-on-1. Abdelnaby comes up on Miller and gets the field goal.
And Miller did not back off again. Now that could have been the ball game right there. He is doing some job. The Big O.
Gets it back to Bowers, who comes free. Almost ran back in by Hury. Bowers gets it back, and it's Leitner's rebound.
No defensive balance now by this Arkansas club. Breaks are available.
Henderson sets the 3.
Arkansas not getting back on defense. Nolan Richardson may have to go for a timeout here. Club a little frayed.
That's 3 3-pointers for Phil Henderson. Fury coming back in. Yanked away by Davis.
See, nobody back again.
And so it is Duke that appears more rested than ours. Henderson comes in for the layup. And it's 89-81. An 8-point lead. Timeout. Timeouts remaining. Arkansas down to its last timeout here at 3:39, and Duke with 2.
Well, Brent, what I think Nolan Richardson was doing, he had a kind of a comfortable situation. He was real tight and was taking his players out to make that last run. But then all of a sudden, his team lost floor balance defensively, and Duke was able to hit a couple of quick ones. Key also is to think, will Mike Krzyzewski now pull this ball out a little higher, forcing Arkansas to chase him, not in a total delay, but a semi-delay.
It's going to be tough against the half-court defense to start nailing 3s against Duke. Henderson out on Day, so Day will put it off the dribble, draws the double team, and Henderson back to help out beautifully. This Duke defense can be so tough. And the second game, Georgia Tech and UNLV, and Mayberry misses on the 3, gets it back, comes inside now.
Oh, what a body. What a body move by Mayberry. Now it's back to man-to-man defensive pressure. Much better handled by Duke that time. Now Miller's on Abdelnaby. They're going to force him to come outside a little bit. Good move by Duke. And here's what I expected. A little semi-delay.
Henderson takes his time. Missed. They can't tap it back in. Arkansas to save it, and it is Day's ball.
Oh,
Day arches a 3 and not there, and Leitner brings it down. 2:40.
Here goes Hurley.
Hurley wants Abdelnaby. Finally got the handle on it.
Now the problem they have, Miller has a hard time going out and guarding somebody that far away from the floor. Abdelnaby should come out and always be the open man whenever they get tied up in a double team.
This is allowing Todd Day, at least, to catch his breath at 2:20. They're going to need him. Now it's Henderson going inside, up over the top, and it doesn't matter.
There was
It's
a
into
switch,
the 90s.
a switch that time, and Miller was stuck with Henderson. Great job by Henderson to recognize that and take him one-on-one.
Henderson has scored Duke's last 7 points after returning from the nose injury. Mayberry can't find it. Duke's game to lose now. Leitner off with the rebound. They're inside at 2 minutes. They lead at 91-83. 14 rebounds for Christian Leitner.
Both of these teams are tired now. The starters for Duke have been out there what seems for them like an eternity. I would get the ball to whoever Oliver Miller is guarding and make him play somebody.
Day will come out and foul Leitner. Number 4 on Todd Day.
Brent, there's some fellas really having to suck it up out there. They're exhausted, aren't they?
Well, we can see that Richardson now taking Mayberry back out. And Cannon Whitby, a senior, checks into a Final Four with 1:38 to go, 91-83.
And a good free throw shooter on the line. Brett, these two teams were both in the Final Four in '78, but didn't play against each other, obviously. Kentucky knocked off Arkansas, and Duke beating Notre Dame to have that Duke and Kentucky matchup.
The chant in the building now is ACC, ACC for followers of Duke and Georgia Tech, which will be playing the next game. The three is short into Bricky's hands. And it now appears that Duke will head to the championship game on Monday night. Into Henderson's hands, who has been the standout after suffering that nose injury. During crunch time, it was Phil Henderson who led the way for the Duke Blue Devils.
And there's a point that Mike Krzyzewski made. Isn't it great to have fellas of that size that are good outlet pass people that you're normally going to foul, but they're the best free throw shooters. Most of the times if big men are used to step out that high, you foul them and they go to the line and they're 65% shooters.
Big game for Leitner, 19 points and 14 rebounds, 9 of 11 at the free throw line. Three-point time now for the Razorbacks.
Against a team that knows how to guard the three.
Whitby. Duke's ball.
Mike Krzyzewski going for a little bit more ball handling now. Takes out Abdelnaby, who did a good job despite his foul problems. Brent, we talked to each other and said the first team to lose their big men would be in trouble, and Arkansas, unfortunately, was that club. They lost credit. Duke kept Leitner and Abdelnaby in the game.
Early lets that clock tick down before they can finally get him at the free throw line, and the young man has played through his upset stomach here this afternoon. He was forced to leave the court in the early going, and Mickey Krzyzewski able to breathe a little sigh of relief now there with the Krzyzewski daughters.
Well, just last year, this young fellow was leading his high school team, St. Anthony's, to an undefeated season, the #1 ranked high school team in America. He's got a chance now to be the #1 ranked college team in America.
You know, we all remember the great Danny Ferry, who was over in Italy playing, and last week during the Connecticut game, he called thinking it was over, and of course they were just getting into overtime, and his friend said they got 11 seconds to go, and Danny said, well, describe the action to him. So he kept him on the phone throughout overtime, and Danny thought it was great until he got his telephone bill last week.
That's right. He doesn't have deep pockets.
Murray with the rebound. Ricky's hands, and he is fouled. 44 seconds to go now. For the last 2 years, Duke has been eliminated in the semifinals. Last year it was Seton Hall knocking them out. But 5 years ago, they made their way into the championship game against Louisville down in Dallas, and they were beaten by the Cardinals. So the Duke Blue Devils appear to be headed back for another chance at an NCAA championship. This is their 8th appearance in the Final Four, and they're still looking for title number 1.
You know, Brent, on that Danny Ferry story, I understand that in his accounting of funds, he's got a $2 million contract over there in Italy, and he estimated he has spent about 550 of his own dollars on the year. Pretty good education he gets.
Marks, who had replaced Miller, and it's Duke's ball going out of hand, out of bounds.
Smart play by Henderson, and Marks was trying to ward him off and wasn't paying attention to the ball.
Every senior, every four-year senior who has played for Mike Krzyzewski has earned his degree down at Duke. So this is a program that does it not only on the floor, but also in the classroom. And they'll be going back to the championship game on Monday night. Richardson, disappointment, but remember, this is a young Arkansas team. They'll be back again next year. And Duke will be back again Monday night.
And Mike Krzyzewski now, and just think of this, in the NCAA, his record moves to 21 wins and 6 losses.
And on Monday night, Duke will play the winner of our second game, matching UNLV against Georgia Tech. Lethal Weapon 3 tries to slow down the running Rebs.
They just won't give him the 3.
Taken away by Brookie. Duke was up by 1 with 4:40 to go, and after that they dominated this game, winning it 97-83. Chevrolet players of this game are Phil Henderson of the winning Duke Blue Devils and Todd Day from the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're going to come back and we're going to hear from Coach Krzyzewski and Phil Henderson in just a moment. Tell it all. 3 timeouts apiece now, and the Wizard is back. Kenny Anderson, who has struggled a little bit here in the second half with 4 personals on the floor. Georgia Tech down 76-69, and Tech has been held to 31% this half. Entirely different than the first half, and Johnson has just picked up number 5, and that could start to turn this around.
Time to put some moisture on that towel, Jerry Tarkanian, because now that inside game changes a lot. And although he's got Moses Scurry to put in, who my old buddy Al McGuire said makes it the best front line in college basketball, Scurry hasn't let him down so far today. happened to be at the right place at the right time, and that errant pass, remember earlier on, Brent and a half, that really got UNLV on the roll. First team All-American goes out. MVP of their tournament and regular season in the Big West.
There has been some speculation.
Even though Johnson has said that he will return, that next year he will find himself in the NBA. In practice yesterday, I said, all right, tell me, is the door closed? What are your feelings? He said, I always want to come to the Final Four. Here, I really want to come back and win. That's what I saw him repeating. But he does not intend to go to the NBA. The kind of dollars that are offered at the professional level. We know better than to shut that door down. 6:50 to go now. 76-70. UNLV leading it by 6.
Brown still hustling out there. He's showing more stamina than any player on the court today.
In either game.
Oliver giving Augman some room. Hunt trying to get Scurry back down on the inside. He'll punch into Butler. Off his hands on the turnover. It's Anderson bringing it back.
Oh, what a pass.
He's something.
It's about the only way to throw that ball is a soft bounce pass, and he put it right on the money.
Making it a 4-point game, and Brown fouls Anthony. His third personal foul.
Brent, another thing that Larry Johnson going out does, it only allows Vegas to have one threat down on the inside, so Bobby Crimmins can go with his smaller lineup. Brown, Anderson, and Oliver and Scott to surround, and makes for tough matchups for UNLV. We're at the 6-minute mark. I'll go back to that first game. Here's where Denny Crum told me in the great Houston-Louisville game where he had the big lead. His players just wore out at altitude at Albuquerque.
Here's Scott. Augman had rotated off of him to the inside, and he could not get that one to stay. And Scurry powerfully down on the turnover. Anderson will bring it back. Spinner. He's got it.
Fun to watch.
Put it down. It's a 2-point game now. 5:21. Here's Hunt. The three. Bingo. 79-74 now. 5:14 regulation.
Go back to the top of the show. We talked about the hunter and the hunted. And you can't fault the backcourt from Vegas today in regard to what they've done offensively.
Oliver penetrates beautifully. Wouldn't stay down. Scurry. With Johnson in foul trouble. It's been Scurry off the bench. 8 rebounds now. Anthony pounded it inside. All got away with the travel, and then I think he hurt his knee. Here is Hunt coming up with a jump shot. Tap back by Butler. Anderson leading the way, and Augman is there. Augman stuck with him, and he shipped it. And there's a foul on Hunt. That's the first personal foul on Anderson Hunt. That was an interesting duel when Anderson brought it down and was face-to-face with Stacey Augman.
Great picture there. Stacey Augman went over to Kenny Anderson. I think great mutual admiration between those two young men, saying, hey, you're some defender. And I think you see Stacey going out and probably a compliment, and you're some ball player yourself. This fella right here has been the story of the game.
Scott
scored 20 points in the first half. UNLV was 6 so far in this half. 4:35, 4:38 to go. 79-74. So not even got pushed. Like the invisible hand of Stacey Augman and Scott at the free throw.
You know, if I was Dennis Scott, I would have followed Stacey Augman all the way over to the bench and say, are you sure
you're going out of the game? Because I want to get something going, son. Sit here a while.
Young is checked back in, number 33, very young for UNLV.
What's the elevation in Leicester, England? Because Brown doesn't seem to be getting tired at all.
He was a soccer player, but that was his athletic background.
That's going. Look, 3
again for Anderson. Hunt, number 5. It's 82-74 at the 4-minute mark, and Anderson trying to get something going, and Hunt did a good job there that time. Oliver, beautiful inside move. Timeout is called by Crimmins. 3:55. It's a 6-point lead by Jerry Tarkanian and the Runnin' Reds. Come back to McNichols Arena, Denver, Colorado. UNLV, which trailed at the half, now leads Georgia Tech 82-76. Tech with a couple of timeouts, UNLV with 3. The possession error in case the ball is held up, and that ball will be awarded to Georgia Tech. Fouls, a big problem in both games. Already Larry Johnson's out for the Runnin' Rebs. Butler and Scurry 4 apiece, and Anderson with 4 for Georgia Tech. Now, Billy, the clock says 3:55 to play. But those of us who grew up around the Big Ten know that whenever Georgia Tech plays, there's at least 3:56, 3:57. Just kidding, folks, down in Atlanta. Just kidding. Anthony brings it back down now, and they'll set the table here. It's 82-76. Hunt gets on the inside, and the foul is going to be called against Brown, who's on the floor. He thought he took the charge that time. That's his 4th personal.
Well, Brent, he just didn't get there in time. Excellent screening by Moses Scurry. You can see Carl Brown has played a tremendous game off the bench today. He's going to move these feet, but he just doesn't get there in time. Wasn't planted.
Hunt chips in 19 points and 6 assists. And remember last Sunday in the regional final against Loyola Marymount, he scored 30. Do you notice that black mourning band on the Vegas uniforms? You saw it when he shot. You'll see it again as he gets ready here to shoot the second one. That is in honor of the late Hank Gathers, the great Loyola Marymount star who passed away so tragically back on March 4th and was a friend of many of the players around the country. Tech off with the missed free throw. 3:30 to go now. 83-76.
Got to be thinking threes. Ogman just won't let Scott touch it. And yet they're still not setting any screens for Scott to get Ogman away from him. So there's a screen for Oliver to get him free, but they're not doing it for Scott.
Scott has to try and get his own rebound. Brown digs it out. He comes inside with a driving layup, and Ogman was there again defensively, and it's UNLV ball.
Bobby Crimmins going to try to put some press on. By doing that, obviously there's going to be a point of fatigue for his club, and then your shooting range really falls down.
Did you ever see a picture quite like Jerry Tarkanian? He's sitting over there, holding his head, passing out a look at his. Scott has been held by Ogman to 2 of 5, Billy, this half.
And we're talking about straight man-to-man, too. It hasn't been double teaming and helping. He just took him on as a challenge. UNLV using some clock now.
Touch pass to Scurry. No foul, no blood, I guess. Not called that time. 85-76. 2:30.
Now there's an opportunity. See, you set the screen, you can free him up.
Which they did, and Scott buries the 3, and that's his 7th of the game. 29 points, despite this subpar for him anyway. Second half. 85-79, but still dangerous with shooters like that at 210, and Johnson having fouled out of the game.
Anderson Hunt making some very good decisions, not penetrating too far.
Now it's Butler. Swing to Scurry, and he hammered it too hard. Laid it off the glass. Ogman watching. Scott puts it down on him, gets on the inside, and misses the runner. Scurry with the rebound. So Ogman overplaying him, and Scott put the dribble to him. Now inside of a minute and a half left in regulation. 6-point game. Just 2 Scott threes. But first they've got to get the ball back from the Rebs. He lost the dribble and tapped it to Hunt. .113, 17 seconds on that shot clock. They're going to have to put somebody on this line now pretty soon. Ogman.
Ooh, did
It's fouled by Scott, and Ogman goes down hard.
He's so flexible, he almost hit his head on the board and pulled it down underneath.
Most people would remember that Stacey Ogman played, obviously, on our Olympic team, along with Bimbo Coles, the only two guys left, as you talked about earlier. He has been a great international player for America, winning the World University Games and a World Championship team.
You know, Billy, during the regular season, he had only 66% of his free throws. Coming into this game, he was 14 of 7. He's hit his only free throw. So
He's 15 of 18. He's another one of the players who has upped his game in the NCAA tournament. Connie Chung will be coming up next. .104 to go. 86-79. Now it's 87-79. Ogman with 22, 9 rebounds. It's Scott. Not there. Brown rebounding it. Dribbles it to 3.
He's looking for Scott, but Ogman's on him. He can't find him.
So they find Oliver.
He stepped.
He traveled. Big turnover with 45 seconds to go. And now Anderson Hunt telling the crowd in the Rebel corner to celebrate this one. Brown fouling Anthony. And Brown is fouled out of the game. And now the Duke student body, as you see, a very tearful Lois Tarkanian, the wife of that man. There, the Duke student body is pointing over at the UNLV student body saying, "We want you." And UNLV saying, "We'll be there." Tarkanian wanting a timeout. So he'll use a timeout. UNLV 87, Georgia Tech 79. Been augmentized here in McNichols Arena. The 3 stars for Georgia Tech put in 43 points in the first half and only 24 here in the second half. And UNLV's balanced attack, all 5 starters, including Stacey Ogman, in double figures. And Moses Scurry off the bench chipped in 9 big rebounds and 6 points. He was a factor as Larry Johnson got into foul trouble and left. So Jerry Tarkanian in his 3rd Final Four is now 44.8 ticks of the clock away from going to his first ever championship game. He had been eliminated previously by North Carolina and then a few years ago in New Orleans by Bob Knight and Indiana. Missed free throw. Anderson will hurry. Anthony with him.
Anderson realizing he's got to get 3s, otherwise he would have penetrated on that play.
Oliver goes for the 2. 30 seconds to go. A quick timeout is called. Down 6. Georgia Tech is not about to quit. That's a team that still believes in miracles. We're coming right back.
The rest of the way, UNLV has on the floor a team that really is not a very good free throw shooting team. So you don't have to pick out a certain guy. I'd say you go for it as soon as that ball gets in bounds.
The free throw shooting percentages are there. It's doubtful that Scurry will handle the ball.
Well, he's
going to take it out of bounds.
Sure.
Right.
Smart move by Jerry Tarkanian. As soon as somebody touches it, though, you foul them. Don't worry about who it is.
It'll be Anthony coming to the free throw line. The clock down to 28.8.
And Brent, there has not been a bigger topic of discussion in the coaches' lobbies than this particular play right now. The intentional foul call. What the coaches are really concerned, what are we going to do about the last 2 minutes of the basketball game? And nobody really has come up with a solution that I've heard that everybody likes.
What's happening here is within the rules, and so
sure.
Obviously Bobby Crumman's going to try to take advantage of it.
Everybody in the gymnasium, including the 3 refs, know the foul is going to be committed.
The agony of Lois Tarkanian as another free throw is missed. 27 seconds. They've got to hurry now. Anderson needs to find Scott.
Taking a lot of time.
Finally finds him at the top. Ogman out on him. Misfired. Scurry with his 10th rebound of the game. 13 seconds to go. Butler now to Hunt. And Butler to finish. He's got it. That'll do it. Yes, sir. Big sigh of relief
Two ladies who have agonized, Mrs. Tarkanian and Mrs. Molesky, who have really supported this program. Good pass and a good job by Hunt here to go for the score, because if you pull it back out, they're going to foul you anyway. Here come the bees. I knew they were in there somewhere.
That was almost a turnover.
Yeah.
So a great run by Lethal Weapon 3 is coming to an end. UNLV goes to its first ever NCAA championship game. It'll be Las Vegas against Duke Monday night. The Chevrolet players of this game, Stacey Augmon. Georgia Tech shot 67% in the first half and only 34% in the second half. Augmon led the way at both ends. Dennis Scott still managed to score 29, but it was tough going in the second half. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools. And we'll come back and hear from Jerry Tarkanian in just a moment. Heads to its first championship game, and defense is the big reason why. And the man who keyed it in the second half was Stacey Augmon. Stacey, in the first half, it was tough going against Lethal Weapon. Tell me what you did differently against Scott in the second half.
Well, I stopped helping out and just started letting everyone take a one-on-one and let everyone defend head up. And he was a tough guy, you know. He hit his three-pointers, and he did well.
Billy, you got Jerry.
Jerry, I have to go back to the first half of the ballgame. That was not UNLV's defense that we were looking at. Did you give them too much respect at the outset?
Well, we started off playing very soft, and our intention was to pressure, but I don't know, maybe the hype of the big game, something, but we came out and played cautiously. Second half, I thought we got after him good, and I thought that turned the game around.
Well, Brent, only one guy, Claire Beach, stands ahead of this guy in winning percentage all time. Congratulations, your first Final Four trip.
And we'll have a new champion on Monday night, either UNLV or Duke. And right now, let's go to Jim Nance. Jim?
All right, Brent, thank you. Consider the second half. UNLV outscored Georgia Tech 44-28. This is after Tech scored 53 in the first half, held to only 28 in the second half. Now, which four letters will this Final Four be remembered by? UNLV or DUKE? We'll find out Monday night. We'll come back to Denver in just a moment.